anyways, man, it's weird when you're on the other side. You know what I mean? It's weird because I'm over here looking at something and I'm not looking at me. It's like if I'm looking at me, I'm looking at y'all, right? But I'm not looking at me. When I'm looking at me, I'm looking like this. Looking at you, looking at me. Looking at you, looking at me. It's weird. It's really weird. Anyways, so you want to pray before you go to bed every night. I was talking to my mom. I was talking to my mom, and she was like, "Nigga, you smart too much. Like, you fight too much. Like, girls gonna be talking about you. Blah 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 blah." I was like, "Look, man, I'm a winner." That's what winners do, man. What you want from me, man? What you want? I'm a winner. Yeah. I know I'm gonna find me somebody who love all of that shit too. So, hey, it is what it is. But everybody has their own style of praying, blah 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 blah. This book is actually very scientific, believe it or not. And the way they describe prayer is programming your subconscious mind or whatever. But all that shit the same. So basically, that's what I've been doing every night, and it's been changing my life in so many ways, y'all. Unbelievable. Now the issues I have now is storage space, battery, shit that don't really matter because I'm so creative and I'm so blessed that, I'm not really worried about the things I used to be worried about. You know what I mean? The lack of focus, the lack of this, lack of that. I got a lot of that now. So I'd be lucky to find time to sleep. I'm so busy and into what I'm doing. I'm passionate about mine. So yeah. But I want to talk about a girl that I liked. I thought she liked me or whatever, but I used to post a lot, her stuff. I used to do this, I used to do that. But then I made a move and I posted her alongside other women that I like. And I think that got to her because she blocked my ass. She was feeling me until I did that. She was like, I dare you compare me to other women. Hey, I feel you, baby. I feel you. But when she blocked me, I felt that shit. I felt kind of weird the rest of the day. Like, I was crushed. Like, damn, baby, you really gonna... We ain't even make it to the first stage. But hey, that's what it is. You win some, you lose some, baby. You win some, you lose some, man. I'd rather you hate me for being myself than love me for who I'm not, So if that's what it took for you to block me, then fuck it. I'm still gonna be hurt a little bit, but I'm gonna get over it. Best believe I'm gonna get over it. But yeah, I feel weird after that. I was like, damn. Here, I thought we had a connection, But girls be funny like that sometimes, That's why you gotta have your game in abundance, you know what I mean? You gotta talk to multiple women. You gotta have platonic female friends. You're not supposed to bang every female you talk to, no. You're supposed to have friends because they're going to put you on, they're going to show you the game. They're going to teach you something. And let me show you something else. Y'all might want to go buy this book right here and more books of this author right here, Tariq Nasheed, because there's a lot of game in that book, Thanks to that book and to Tariq Nasheed, he used to have a podcast called Mackin Lessons. Y'all might want to check it out. It's on YouTube. It's for free. Man, thanks to this shit right here, I'm about to be 30, no kids, got my shit together, about to make some money, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm just trying to share a game with y'all, man. Anybody can benefit from it, whether you're a man or a woman. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about this game so you don't get caught up out here like a dumbass. But anyway, let me just do my little prayer thing. Y'all don't have to do what I do, but that's what I do, and it's been working for me. So, again, buy this book right here. $15, gonna change your life, my nigga. You're gonna be a billionaire if you want to. It's up to you how much money you want to make. Like, This book right here has so much energy, so much vibe, so much flow that I'm stuck with it. You know, I carry it everywhere I go because it's something about this book. I don't know what it is. It's you know what I mean? But if y'all know or heard about the author called, there's a guy called Bob Proctor, right? He transitioned or whatever. But he used to be a motivational speaker, and he talked about this book for like 60 years or something like that. Like Bob Proctor, very great guy, and he kind of broke it down to science. You know what I mean? He made it easy for everybody to get the benefit out of this. And you know what it comes down to? It's simple. You basically get a card, you write down your goal on it. Like, for example, I want to make $1 million, right? Put that shit on there. Put a date on it. Like, I want to make $1 million by next week. Put it in there and carry that shit with you and read that shit throughout the day. You know what I mean? Just keep it with you. Read it throughout the day. It's called a goal card. You do that and watch what happens. But what you really want to do is get the book because it's going to go into details. The guy who made this book is called Napoleon Hill. He was a mentee of Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was one of the first billionaires here in the U.S. So he knows a lot about money. You know what I mean? The Rockefellers, hey, they are in this book. All the knowledge you need to know about money and life and wealth. And not just money, it's about peace of mind, it's about other things. This book talks about the sixth sense, it talks about angels. This book is deep, man. You want to get that. This is going to be the best $16 you can ever spend, man. I'm telling you. But you do you, you know what I mean? You do you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Shit. Watch me live the life of my dreams. And I don't want y'all to ask me for shit because I put y'all on game. So don't nobody come out with no handout, no. I'm not doing that shit. Because the first people I try to share a game with is my own damn family. But guess what? Them niggas be on some hating shit too. So fuck y'all. Straight up. Y'all gonna be hating, y'all gonna be hating anyway. So I don't got time. I gotta focus on me and my family. Which I'm still in the process of building, by the way. Before I forget. You know I like to do my own commercials. So, it's cuffing season, ladies. Yeah, get you some of me. I'm a nice guy. I'm gonna put you on. Anyways, let's focus on the focus. Chapter 4, Autosuggestion. The medium for influencing the subconscious mind. The third step towards riches. Autosuggestion is a term which applies to all suggestion and all self-administered stimuli, which reaches one's mind through the five senses. Stated in another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where the conscious thought takes place and that which serves as the seat for action of the subconscious mind. Two dominating thoughts which ones permit to remain in the conscious mind. Whether the thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. No thought, whether it be negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. Fuck. I'm reading a little bit too fast. But that's because I'm excited, goddammit. I'm about to change my whole family tree. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. No thought, whether it be negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion, with the exception of thoughts picked up from the ether. Stated differently, all sense impressions which are perceived to the five senses are stopped by the conscious thinking mind, and may be either passed on the subconscious mind or rejected at will. The conscious faculty serves, therefore, as the outer guard to the approach of the subconscious. Nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which reaches his subconscious mind through his five senses. Although this is not meant to be construed as a statement that man always exercises this control. In a great majority of instances, he does not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spot, in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown therein. Other suggestion is the agency of control to which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect permit thoughts of a disruptive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind. You are instructed in the last 6 steps described in the chapter on desire to read out loud twice daily the written statement of your desire for money, and to see and feel yourself already in the possession of money. By following these instructions, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in the spirit of absolute faith. Through repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thoughts, habits, which are favorable to your efforts to transmute desire into its money equivalent. Go back to the 6 steps described in Chapter 2 and read them again very carefully before you proceed further. It tells you everything you need. It says go back to Chapter 2, so what I'm going to do? Go back to Chapter 2. I'm literally reading, nigga. I'm not really all of that. I'm just following I'm just a student, man. Just following instructions. Shit. Fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as to the amount. There is a psychological reason for definiteness, which will be described in subsequent chapter. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for your desire. There is no such reality as something for nothing. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once whether you're ready or not to put this plan into action. Write a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, and name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan to which you intend to accumulate it. Read your written statement aloud twice a day, once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in the possession of money. Then, when you come to it, read very carefully the 4 instructions for the organization of the mastermind group described in the chapter on organized planning. Again, I'm just following instructions. And the cool thing about this is the more you do it, the more you memorize it, the better you get, and blah, 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 blah. It's like a win-win, man. It's a win-win. For $16? Come on, man. What is y'all on, man? What is y'all on? You can't tell me you ain't got $16. Oh, my God, man. Allow yourself with a group of as many people as you may need for the creation and carrying out of your plan or plans for the accumulation of money. Making use of this mastermind principle described in later chapter, compliance with this instruction is absolutely essential. Do not neglect it. Before forming your mastermind alliance, decide what advantages and benefit you may offer an individual member of your group in return for their cooperation. No one will work indefinitely without some form of compensation. No intelligent person will either request or expect another to work without adequate compensation. Oh, yes. Although this... You gotta make it fun, baby. You gotta make it fun, man. This is fun. This is... Changing your life is fun, There's no need to be all this uptight, serious, all of that. When you know you're fighting in private, man. Come on, get out of here. Yeah. Before forming your mastermind. That's his thing. Ooh, Lord. Before forming your mastermind alliance, decide what advantage and benefit you might offer to the individual member of your mastermind. You know what's funny about people? All this knowledge I break down, they don't say shit about it. But as soon as I fart, niggas be like, oh, you farted. I'm like, really? That's all you got out of that? That's all you got out of that? Jesus Christ. You may offer the individual members of your group in return for their cooperation. No one will work indefinitely without some form of compensation. No intelligent person will either request or expect another to work without adequate compensation, although this may not always be in the form of money. Arrange to meet with members of your mastermind group at least twice a week, and more often if possible, until you have generally perfected the necessary plan or plans for the accumulation of money. Maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member of your mastermind group. If you fail to carry out these instructions to the letter, you may expect to meet with failure. The mastermind principle cannot obtain where perfect harmony does not prevail. Keep in mind these facts. First, you are engaged in an undertaking of major importance to you. To be sure of success, you must have plans which are faultless. And second, you must have the advantage of the experience, education, and native ability and imagination of other minds. This is in harmony with methods followed by every person who has accumulated great fortune. By comparing these two sets of instructions with that which has been stated on autosuggestion, you of course will see that the instructions involve the application of the principle of autosuggestion. Remember therefore, when reading out loud the statement of your desire to which you endeavor to develop a money consciousness, that the mere reading of these words is of no consequence, unless you mix emotions and feelings with your words. If you repeat 1,000,000 times the famous Emile Coué formula, day by day, in every way I'm getting better and better, without mixing the emotions of faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon thoughts which have been well mixed and emotionalized with feelings. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter, because the lack of understanding of this is the main reason the majority of people who try to apply the principle of autosuggestion get no desirable results. Plain and emotional words do not influence the subconscious mind. You get no appreciable results until you learn to reach your subconscious mind with thoughts or spoken words which have been well emotionalized with belief. Do not become discouraged if you cannot control and direct your emotions the first time you try to do so. Remember, there is no such possibility as something for nothing. Ability to reach and influence the subconscious mind has its price, and you must pay that price. You cannot cheat even if you desire to do so. Your ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principle described here. You cannot develop the desired ability for a low price. You and you alone must decide whether or not the rewards for which you are striving, the money consciousness, is worth the price you must pay in effort. Wisdom and cleverness alone would not attract and retain the money except in a very few rare instances when the law of averages favors the attraction of money. Through these sources, the method of attracting money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favor. It will work for one person as effectively as it will work for another. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and make another effort and still another If you try and fail, make another effort and still another until you succeed. Your ability to use the principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon your capacity to concentrate upon given desire until that desire becomes its burning obsession. When you begin to carry out the instructions in connection with the 6 steps described in the 2nd chapter, it will be necessary for you to make use of the principle of concentration. Let us here offer the suggestion of effective use of concentration. If you begin to carry out the first of the 6 steps, which instructs you to fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you desire, hold in your thought that amount of money, and by concentration or fixation of attention with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of money. Do this at least once each day. As you go through these exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith and see yourself actually in the possession of money. This part right here kind of goes over my head. I'll be real. Let us here offer suggestions for the effective use of concentration. When you begin to carry out the first of the 6 steps which instructs you to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire, hold that thought amount of money in concentration, fixation, or attention with your eyes closed until you can actually see this physical running. Okay, do this at least once each day. it's kind of hard to visualize $20 billion. What the fuck is this shit look like? Is this a house full of money? Like, what are we talking about? $20 billion. That's a very large number. Very large number. Anyway, I'm gonna look at some yachts or something. Do this at least once each day, as you go through these exercises. Follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith, and see yourself actually in possession of the money. Here's the most significant fact: your subconscious mind takes any order given in the spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Okay, I need to read this again. Here's the most significant fact: the subconscious mind takes any order given in the spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again. So whatever you say goes. Whatever you say goes. If this ain't an attribute of a God, I don't know what is. God made us in our image, in his image or her image. So that's what it is. That's what I'm saying when I say I'm a God. You know what I mean? You a God. You just don't know it. But I'm here to enlighten you, buddy. You are a God. Because whatever you control is whatever goes. And that is whatever you think about. So control what you're thinking about. That's why you need that gold card. Because guess what? The more you think about how to make more money, the more money you're going to make. But the more you think about debt and how much money you don't got, that's what you're going to attract. Just like that. And that's the part that people miss because it's so simple. You know, even for me, that's been hit to this thing for a long time. I still get confused sometimes. So, you wonder why I pray every night? Shit. I'm not trying to miss no time, man. I'm supposed to been being a billionaire by now. Had I been focused like I am now. But you know what? You live and you learn. That's my favorite saying. You live and you learn. You always gonna get better, man. That's the goal. Make your next move your better move, like T.I. said. So yeah, the fact that you're watching this video is gonna make you better, baby. Watch this video every day. Just watch your life change. Okay, where was I? Here's the most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any order given in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition. Although they often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Following the preceding statement, consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have the amount of money you are visualizing, that the money is already awaiting your claim, that the subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for the acquiring of the money, which is yours. Hand over the thought suggested in the preceding paragraph to your imagination, and see what your imagination can and will do to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for definite plans to which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing, but begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting meanwhile that your subconscious mind will hand over the plan or plans. Oh Lord, why am I thinking about Menaya right now? She's so cute. Threw me off my whole game, man. It be like that when you're in tune, you know, you be having flashes in your mind. Anyway, let me focus. Do not wait for a definite plan or hold on. Do not wait for a definite plan to which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing. But begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting that your subconscious mind will hand over the plan or plans you need. Be on the alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. When the plans appear, they'll probably flash, you know what I mean? Yeah, into your mind to the sixth sense in the form of an inspiration. I'm feeling very inspired right now, I'm gonna tell you. This inspiration may be considered a direct telegram or message from infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do this will be fatal to your success. In the fourth of the 6 steps, you were instructed to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once to put this plan into action. You should follow the instructions in the manner described in the preceding paragraph. Do not trust your reason when creating a plan for the accumulation of money to the transmutation of desire. Your reason is faulty. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy, and if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, it may disappoint you. When visualizing with closed eyes the money you intend to accumulate, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. The fact that you're reading this book is an indication that you earnestly seek knowledge. It is also an indication that you're a student of the subject. If you're only a student, there's a chance that you may learn much that you did not know. But you will learn only by assuming an attitude of humility. If you choose to follow some instructions but neglect or refuse to follow others, you will fail to get satisfactory results. You must follow all instructions in the spirit of faith. The instructions given in connection with the 6 steps in the 2nd chapter will now be summarized and blended with the principle covered in this chapter as follows. First, go into some quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat out loud so you may hear in your own words the reinstatement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate, the time limit for its accumulation, and the description of the service or merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in a possession of money. For example, suppose that you intend to accumulate $50,000 by the 1st of January, 5 years hence, that you intend to give personal services in return for the money. In the capacity of a salesman, your written statement of your purpose should be similar to the following. By the 1st day of January 19, I will have in my possession $50,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable of rendering, the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of a salesman of ... Describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. I believe I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes and I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I'm awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Second, repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Third, place a written copy of your statement where you can see it night and morning, and read it just before retiring at night and upon rising in the morning until it has been memorized. Remember, as you carry out these instructions, that you are applying the principle of voluntary suggestion for the purpose of giving orders to your subconscious mind. Remember also that your subconscious mind will only act upon instructions which are emotionalized and handed over with feeling. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith. Again, I'm just following instructions. Chapter on faith, page 30. Here it is. I like to call this the Superman formula. Self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking on the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down the description of my chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all human effects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it out loud once a day, with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. I'm telling you guys, I'm not special. I'm just like y'all. Where things really started clicking for me is when I started to really take control over my sexuality. As you know, the desire for sex is the strongest desire that anybody can have. You know, you don't need no drugs, you don't need no this, you don't need no alcohol. If you can just control that sexual urge that you have and put it into other means, you know, because it gotta go somewhere. It's like water. If you just ignore it, it's gonna blow up on you. You're supposed to do something with it. You're supposed to create stuff. You're supposed to write books. You're supposed to do things of a creative nature or something else. Put it into your work. And that's gonna benefit you all around. That's what I've been doing. It's been working for me, so it can work for you too. And I farted again. Smell like, anyway. The instructions may at first seem abstract. Do not let this disturb you. Follow the instructions, no matter how abstract or impractical they may at first appear to be. The time will soon come, if you do as you've been instructed, in spirit as well as in act, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with these new ideas is characteristic of all human beings. But if you follow the instructions outlined, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. You will have arrived at the point where you may truly say, I'm the master of my faith, I'm the captain of my soul. My philosophers have made the statement that man is the master of his own earthly destiny, but most of them have failed to say why he's the master. The reason that man may be the master of his own earthly status, and especially his financial status, is totally explained in this chapter. Man may become the master of himself and of his environment because he has the power to influence his own subconscious mind, and through it gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. If you are now reading this chapter, which represents the keystone to the arc of this philosophy, the instructions You are now reading the chapter which represents the keystone to the arc of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you are to succeed in transmuting your desire into money. The actual performance of transmuting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as the agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. The other principles are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind, and you will at all times be conscious of the important part of the principle of auto suggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the methods described in this book. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child, and inject in your effort something of the faith of a child. This is very important, guys. Very important. A lot of us think we know everything. Let me speak to you for a quick second. A lot of niggas think they know everything. I talk to niggas all the time. They know everything. I swear they know everything. I used to be that nigga, so I know. It wasn't until an OG pulled me to the side and was like, nigga, I know you're watching porn. Stop doing that shit. You know what I mean? My homie over there, I drive whip, you know what I mean? Put me on game. He was like, look, you trying to be successful? Stop watching porn, nigga. He told me, like, straight up, you gotta be working 12 hours a day, nigga. That's what bosses do, 12 hours a day. I was like, how in the fuck you do 12 hours a day? It was like, nigga, you gotta stop watching porn. And I'd be damned if that shit not working for me, nigga. What time is it now?